Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk, guys. Welcome back. Hazmat's Militia Clan. Oh, it went away, and I was holding my coffee, and I'll have to do this right here. Clan Alari, and he is in his AMX, ELC BIS. Look at this, 3 marked. All right, well, let's watch the Master at work. I've watched this once, and for some reason didn't do a video. So it's been maybe 4, 5, 6, 10, 7, 42 days, not sure. We're just going to see what Hazmat's does with the old AMX ELC BIS. Oh, that's right. I do recall this one. Now I am remembering, because this is a super duper aggressive move early on. He gets 2 spots on scouts and is not counter spotted. That's amazing. This thing has a lot of camo, as you can tell. Well, no other scout went up in here, so he just drives right up into these bushes. Does a little bit of an overshoot. That's a bit of a bummer. Sees an M6. And he's hanging out. He's got the big 90mm, it looks like, on this. There is a smaller gun. Don't know what the millimeter is. Maybe a 76 or some such thing. And it has a full turret, which means it will spin all the way around. This thing is more like a TD with a pretty good field of regard. As you can see, though, the stop on the turret. That stops him from being able to hang out in this bush and point at things. So he kind of has to turn around and point the whole tank at him. Kind of like a fighter plane. He's got to aim the airplane. And ooh, oh my goodness gracious. I just, the first time I watched this, I was so blown away by how aggressive it was. But hey, check it out. He is just hanging out right here. And the problem is, unfortunately for him, there's not the murderer's row back there on the ridge. The Wolverine's too far back. The Chaffee and the light tanks are getting massacred by these 2 light tanks. The Stug and the Chaffee, anyway, are getting massacred. And he's got all these nice lights for days, and unfortunately there's nobody to take advantage of it. So he is at 0-0-0, probably wondering what he did in his life to deserve this. I don't know, Hazmat, do you head up there a lot? That's pretty impressive. It's pretty easily countered, I think, because scouts from the other side, from the north side, often go right here, and they just didn't for whatever reason. So maybe he was going to take a peek into the field and then bail out if he had to. The nice thing about a tiny little tank like this thing is it's hard to hit. So even when you do go a little bit overextended, oftentimes you can get out of it without getting hit. There's another ELC behind him. Yeah, he checks that guy. Boy, talk about being in enemy territory. I mean, and no support. He is... Doesn't this just look like the end for Hazmat's? I mean, if you're watching this, you have to just think, there's no way this guy gets out of this. He is surrounded by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tanks with a Nashorn on Overwatch and God knows what else back there. All of his tanks are having a party in the city. Hot time in the city over there. And the A-20's moving up. And we're still, well, we got 218. Somebody got a chunk of the Su-85, so that's nice. And we're still hanging out here. Now, this is a big game. He has a big game here. It really doesn't look like it, does it? We are down 4-6. We're still hanging out in the back of enemy territory, and all of a sudden, you might think that it would be a good idea to retreat, but not Hazmat's. He has them right where he wants them. He is surrounded. He is planning to attack, and attack he does. He comes up in here, and he does what scout tanks do the best. And even though he's surrounded, he does a little bush of whamma ding dang right here, and hello. Bit of a low roll, 190. Isn't this a 240 Alpha gun? That really hurts. That really hurts. A little high roll, and he could have killed this thing off, but there he goes. There goes Mr. M4. I think he gets a track here, as I recall. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, stupid M44 is just going to get away from him. Gets into a bush, doesn't know he is seen. The Predator has his eyes set. 44 thinks he's safe. He's like, oh, let me just find a shot, and no, gone. And it's still 6-9. 6-9. Hazmat's is just wandering around in the backfield of the enemy team. That, I believe, is the first time he got seen. That LEF has to wonder, what on earth, where did this guy come from? Depression is a problem, so he's kind of fighting that. Gets a little track on him. That was nice. Thought he was going to ram him. That's probably not a great idea. Comes around behind him. This dude's like, hey, where did this guy come from? Was that an attempt to break the track? Because I thought that was pretty fantastic. If you did that on purpose to break his track, really nicely done if that was actually on purpose right there. Something to think about. I'm kind of glossing over it, but what he did is he came over to the track and kind of ran into the track with the side of his tank. Got to be careful about tracking yourself, but the way he got into it, because that track sticks out, he was able to retrack the LEF even without a shot. So that was really well done right there. Put that in your bag of tricks, scout players. Really anybody, if you want to track them, ramming them and clipping their tracks or getting into the edge of the tank is a good way to retrack them, and you don't have to waste another shot. Or maybe you have a long reload like the ELC does, and you just need him to be tracked some more so he doesn't try to get away. Kind of like cutting the old Achilles right there, right? So Hazmat is moving in here. There's an M6 that I guess is pushed. He didn't run into him, so you have to assume the M6 is now somewhere down this way. They're probably wondering why people are dying in their backfield. They should know by now. So Hazmat comes in here and he's going to do some more bush sniping on these guys. We've got a Su-85, a T-50-2. Someone's going to get salty with him here, as I recall as well. I'm looking for a shot on this dude. Plink, down goes the Su-85. That'll even up a little bit, but goodness, look at it. It's 9-12. 9-12. He's got an M44 and a KV-1S. The KV-1S is fighting as hard as he can over there. The 50-2 is raging around. Then he finds the M6, and the M6 doesn't see him because the M6 has terrible view range, or maybe a bad crew or both. He's in the bushes, and now Hazmats can take these nice shots. He's working the bushes back and forth. There we go. He's going to have to probably go forward. One of the problems with a long reload like this little scout does is oftentimes you won't get another shot before they go dark if you're doing the double bush thing, and that was like quadruple, quintuple bush right there. So he'll hang out here and just wait. You can see he's actually carrying octane or gas or whatever that is, so that's going to speed up his tank a little bit. Give him a little bit more power, I think. There we go. So now we've found the M6, puts a shot into it. He's going to have to watch. Waiting for the reload. It's going to go behind that rock. The KV-1S missed. That's unfortunate. If he gets behind this rock, then he's going to get some free shots right into the back. Nicely done. You can tell he hit because the base capture points went down. Now he's just trying to use these bushes as good as possible to whittle away this M6 who's just driving around the cap like a Muppet. Gets tracked and hit. He's going to come over to this other bush just to get a little view on him. There we go. Moves into these. Gets double bushed. Guy's trying to make a runner. He has no idea what's about to happen. There he goes, and we're at 12 and 13. Is there any question why Hazmats has managed to 3-mark his AMX ELC BIS? I would say the red team is even right now saying this game is total BIS. All right, Nashorn, that's going to be tricky. He does hit hard, relatively fast reload. Not very maneuverable. There is also a T-150 and an Arty, so this is all a recipe for getting nuked if he gets caught out in the open. So it's going to be a trick. There's the angry typing. I missed what it said, but I think they're angry. Somebody was angry at the ELC. He's going to work all the way to the back. When I first watched this, I said, I don't know if I'd go all the way back here and try to hunt down Arty. If they get rid of your KV-1S and both of them jump on cap, you might be hard-pressed. Then all of a sudden we get a sight of the T-150. Probably knows he's lit. Trying to figure out where the heck the guy is that sees him. Unknown if we hit. Moves forward to try to get into this forward bush. It looks like we did hit. Either we did or the 1S, probably us. And we want to be careful. It is tempting at times to take those shots when you know you're going to get spotted. The Hazmats is extremely careful and patient. Using the bushes to move into the back. Probably hoping he can find the M41 HMC. Remember, he's been back here once and did not see the HMC. That makes me believe that the HMC is over on the east side. He could have moved, so you have to be ready for anything. Also, the Nashorn has been dark for a long time, but he was last seen in the middle. And I don't expect he's going to go very far, being a little bit worried about the ELC and knowing that the KV-1S is down below. I don't really like the KV-1S's move here. He's not really going to be able to take on the 150 and the Nashorn very well, but it looks like he gets a nice light on the T-150. This has got a long aim time, and we're just waiting for the old kill shot here. Oh, no idea where that went because it zoomed out. And he got lit doing it. So a little too close maybe to the T-150. I was a little bit surprised myself by that. I thought you might be able to get away with that without getting lit. And we find the Nashorn as well. KV-1S is doing some good work. I guess I might have pushed in, but I probably would have been dead because they eventually get the KV-1S, and now we're just trying to pick around the corners and see if we can't get one of these guys. The stone fence is problematic for getting highlights, especially when you're that low to the ground. Tanks like this one that are low to the ground have a little bit more trouble with some of the rubble piles and low-slung rock fences and things. They'll stop highlights, they'll stop view. They won't stop you from being seen, but they'll stop you from kind of seeing what's on the other side as far as aiming in on weak spots or getting highlights, things like that. So now it's a 1v3. We've got 1,400 damage, 216 assist, and we find the HMC. He cuts away and he's like, all right, did he see me? Doesn't look like it. There's the post right there causing him a bit of an issue. I think I would have backed, gone dark, and taken that shot, but it didn't matter. It looked like you kind of knew you were double bushed. And then I would have absolutely gone after this guy. I'm a little bit surprised that you didn't. They do get on cap. Maybe just snap that off and see if you can get a pixel. He's moving away from you. I think you had him. Yeah. Looks like he went face into the building and was waiting to get proxy lit and then turned to the direction you came at him. He knew you were going to have to square up, or probably suspected you were going to have to square up. A guy did on cap, got on cap. That forces you now to head back that way and accept that you left an Artie alive. I would really like to have seen you get rid of him. Got rid of him. However, as long as you can take these guys on unseen, doesn't really matter if there's an Artie. He's got nothing to shoot at. So we'll move up to these bushes. He knows they're here. This will get a decent approach, probably about as close as you can get, unless you go all the way off to the left side over to the east. And he gets a light on the dude, and he just kind of... I guess I wouldn't have gone that much closer, but it's not really going to matter because he has no idea what's going on. It's the Nashorn I'd be worried about. Down he goes. The Nashorn is not on the cap. You kill him, you bail out. Nashorn wasn't close enough, and then all of a sudden we get him lit. Looks like he started running. I would imagine more than likely he was sitting on the cap, which means he had his stationary camo, and when you killed the 150, it spooked him and he ran. Just like the herbivore that he is. So we get that guy deaded. And we're at 1961, 216 with 6 kills. Can we get our 7th kill? Just a clinic for light tanks drivers all around right here by Hazmat's Militia in his 3 marked ELC, AMX ELC BIS. Really nicely done. For the big finish, is he already going to drown himself? What do you guys think? How's this going to go down? Oh, there he is. And he doesn't even know it. Doesn't even know it. Doesn't have the view range. Gets picked up by Hazmat's. Down goes the 7th kill. Over 2,000 damage. Might even been, I think there was 1 blind shot in there, so it was a little bit more, maybe 2,200, 2,300, something like that. 216 assists and 7 kills. Just a total carry by Hazmat's Militia, just busting it up in his AMX ELC. Well done. Thanks for sending that in. For you guys that are learning scouts, especially mid-tier scouts, that was an absolute clinic for how to do that. Nicely done. That's all I've got for today. We'll see you.